Hey everybody, welcome to Landscape Rescue. I'm Stuart Moore, this is Lowe's. Let's go do a shopping video.
Gotta be painful.
So we're in Republic, Missouri today, heading around to the clearance dungeon. Pink pampas grass. Pink pampas grass. Oh, and it's dripping. It's always a good sign. Very healthy. $16.98. Gonna take us into that fifth tier. Gonna make this $8.50. For a 2-gallon, $8.50, it's a pretty good deal. But I want you to be cautious with pink pampas grass because it is, zone 7, 10 to 0. Does get below 0 periodically, but how often does that happen? A couple years ago, it got like -20. Freak. It was a freak thing. That's a tough decision because they got like 5 or 6 of them over here. I am going to take out my limelight trees this fall. So this fall, the limelight trees, I'm taking them out in those sweet summer. Taking them out, I'm gonna put them on the fence row. That way they can just kind of hang out with the other panicle hydrangeas, those white weddings, and just create kind of a barrier back there. That's kind of the plan. Really getting sick of how they look after a storm. What I should have done is I should have gone with a quick fire or a fire and ice. Could have corrected it with pruning. I did not because I wanted to air layer it. That's kind of going to be the plan. I'll just air layer off of them to keep them somewhat in good shape. Not umbrella shape, which is what they are now. What I was thinking is that maybe the pink pampas would look good across the backside of that fence. Do I have enough time to get them established though? Kind of the thing with grasses. I really like to plant grasses in the spring. That way I'll have all summer to baby them, get them ready for the fall. That's an interesting decision I have to make here. Now here's something worth talking about. You know, I'm a fan of Forsythia. I'm a fan of it. The issue is it just gets so big and I've seen enough people not take care of it. This is Show Off Starlet by Proven Winners. It's a 2 to 3 footer. All of the benefits, none of the problem. Maybe put some white daffodils down, some blush pink daffodils, something like that, so they're all blooming kind of at the same time around that Easter time. Tulips, you could have a lot of fun with a very early spring flowering bed, and Forsythia is always kind of a part of that for me. The issue is the homeowner had to have a lot of room if we were going to incorporate these. They make a great seasonal hedge. They really do. Now these, I could actually use some of these in my landscape. Normally $24.98, which takes us into that 5th tier. So this is probably gonna cost about $12.50. It looks like they have a couple of them. I found 2. This one's rough. We're gonna pass on that one. Oh, there's a bunch. Now there's regular Show Off too. Now remember, the regular Show Off is big, 5 to 6 feet tall. So remember that. This is Starlet. Okay, we're gonna come back to that. I don't really know if I want to baby those all the way through August and September till those hydrangeas go dormant. Oh, Firefly Peach Sky Yarrow. Yarrow is a pretty plant. I like having that in the landscape, but I have to caution you, yarrow has a tendency to lay down during those summer storms. Mine did. I also had a possum or an armadillo come through and just like walk all over everything. The good thing about it though is once you cut it back, it does a very good job of re-blooming. What you're left after you cut them back is you're left with this pretty ferny texture. It's a little bit of a catch because you trim them back, they're very low to the ground, but when they're in bloom, they're very tall blooms. So you can use it in one of 2 ways. You can use it as kind of a backdrop, or you could use it up front, knowing that you're going to trim it back for that contrasting texture. Almost looks like carrots kind of. I don't know, I've just always liked yarrow for the texture. So these particular ones, this is Firefly Peach Sky. I've got some in the pay it forward bed. $10.98, and $10.98 is gonna take us into that 4th tier which is going to make these $7. I'm going to pass on $7. Oh, I see some more of those scarlet or starlit Forsythia down here. That's a good Forsythia. I like that. Maybe I'll carry that at my garden center, because I kind of do like the idea of one that only is going to get 3 feet tall. Unfortunately, it's been my experience that once it's done blooming, it's kind of out of people's heads, and you don't really sell that much of it anymore. Ooh, this sombrero sangria. They don't get as tall as other echinacea. That's pretty cool. 10.98. 10.98 takes us into that 4th tier again, so $7. Anytime I can get a perennial under 10, that's a pretty good deal for me. Butterfly bush, buzz purple butterfly bush. I believe this is a dwarf, but we're just gonna go ahead and double check. A little bit more compact than, say, like a black knight or one of the bigger butterfly bushes. I always use black knight as the example of a big butterfly bush because it's very, very popular. It's the one with those dark purple blooms. It's supposed to get 24 to 36 inches, so somewhere around 3 feet, so right around where you would see like a pugster. But man, it's hard to go wrong with those pugsters. Man, it's hard to go wrong with those. So this is $14.98, which takes us into that 4th tier, makes it $7. If you get a 2-gallon butterfly bush for $7, that's a halfway decent deal. If you get a bunch of them, you probably have to lick your wounds a little bit after that. Blue Marvel salvia. Hey, some salvia when I come here, imagine that. I do like Blue Marvel. I do like that salvia, but that's kind of like, you know, an 8-year-old telling you they really do like ice cream. They really like ice cream. Same thing with me and salvia. Blue Marvel, $10.98, takes us into that 4th tier, which is gonna make it $7. To tell you the truth, and I'll say this 1,000 times, tell them blue in the face, I would not feel bad about buying a 1-gallon salvia for $1. It wouldn't, not $1. I would not feel bad. I definitely wouldn't feel bad if they were $1. Definitely not gonna feel bad for buying some for $7. Now, if you don't wanna negotiate, if you're not into that, it makes you feel ballsy. I don't want you to feel like that. Right? Come back next week, right? They're gonna go off the matrix, but hey, it's been here for 2 weeks. I was wondering if we could do anything else on those. $7, you're taking a little bit of risk there. I get distracted so easily. All right, I'm gonna try not to get stung over here because there's pollinators all over this Magic Show white wands. It's $10.98. Remember, we found a bunch of Magic Show pink potion. So this would be a good companion for that if you wanted some alternate colors in there. I mean, for $10.98, I'm not pissed off about it. That seems like a decent deal to me, especially if you did like all pink and then just kind of had one white kind of mixed in there, just to throw everybody off, make everybody kind of wonder. Tell a story with your landscaping. It's a lot of fun to make people wonder. Was that on purpose? Was that a mistake? I like kind of that Van Gogh with the iris, kind of that thing, you know? Throw just one color in there. And if it's an accident and it happens, don't get too bent out of shape about it. Listen to the talk. Sometimes it's you talking to yourself, but still, it's fun. It creates some whimsy. All those busy bees. You forget how many pollinators are actually out there. I tend to think of honeybees and bumblebees, but you know, you forget about all those wasps that are, you know, hanging out. All these little tiny bees, just little tiny little sweat bees. So many different types of insects. I think I see some more butterfly bush. Boom! So here's more of those buzz purple. That's hard. That's hard. Butterfly bush are performers. They've got a great work ethic. They are drought tolerant. They supply tons of food for pollinators. Just a really cool thing to have in the garden. Hey, now's the time to get butterfly bush on clearance. Now's the time. Monarch Queen of Hearts, kind of a dark purple, where these are more of a lighter purple. That would look pretty, that two combination. They get the same height. So the buzz purple and the Monarch Queen of Hearts both get 3 to 4 feet tall. Cool. $16.98 on the Monarch Queen of Hearts, which is going to take us into that 5th tier, which is going to make this 50% off. So we're looking at another big old 2-gallon pot for for $850. In this flat, somebody was building a flat for me. It's salvia and echinacea. So someone was building a flat just for me. That's awesome. Yeah, doggone it. There's a lot of blue marvel here today. Sky Sail Bright Pink Yarrow, $16.98. It's because they're in these giant pots. Yeah, that's why. So I mean, you're in it for $850. That seems to be the general consensus. But look how healthy it is. I don't know how long it's been here. I would doubt seriously if these even got off the rack. They're just putting everything in the shade under the overhang because it has been so hot here. We're starting to get a little rain, but it's 101 degrees. Today it's a little nicer, but yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get more yarrow in my life. I've fallen from grace when it comes to yarrow. We're gonna do this again. Forbidden fruit. Look how pretty that hosta is. Jeez Louise. That is a good looking hosta. Look how bright those yellow lime greens are in the center and how dark that outer margin is. Very cool. That is a cool hosta. Forbidden fruit, $10.98, 1 gallon pot, some Dr. Earth 2-year fertilizer tablets. You could probably do some root stimulator, and 2 years later, you'll never have to buy another plant like this again. That's the thing, think of hostas as an investment. I am totally cool with buying a hosta that I really like, that's that size, for that amount of money, because I know I'm just gonna get 1,000 of them for free. So I have to apologize. I'm not seeing a whole lot of stuff that's getting me super excited. I am messing around back here, finding some more salvia. I found some Superbena verbena. It's kind of in rough shape. It's almost like I'd like to fight for those. That's the way I think of it when I'm thinking about going and getting a really good deal on clearance plants. I'm fighting for the plant. I'm not necessarily fighting for myself. Not trying to get all namaste about it, but I like the plants. I want to give them a good home. And for the most part, they live a pretty good life with me. They get through the first year. I'm a little hard on them the first year. I'll plant them in 100-degree weather and just be like, all right, guys. Pat them on the rear end, tell them good game. Pink Profusion Salvia, $10.98. $10.98 takes us into that $7 range. And they've got 5 or 6 of them up here. You know, maybe that would be a good thing to do for next year, is start working in some pink salvia in with the purple. I don't know who I'm trying to trick. Let's just go get a cart. I'm I can't stick to my guns. I kind of said today, I'm just gonna hang out with the folks on YouTube. I'm just gonna look at some plants. I don't have to bring anything home unless it's really, really awesome deal. What am I doing? Load my cart up with salvia. Oh, you know, I think it's funny. We were on that subscriber only Facebook group, and we were, there's this young girl that everybody on the, young girl, I don't know, she's a woman. Everybody really likes on our Facebook group. They've been talking about her and posted one of her videos. And that's kind of the neat thing about it. Like, it's the Facebook group I started, Landscape Rescue Facebook group, but it's for everybody. So if you're a YouTuber, it's got a plant channel, get on the Facebook group, post your videos. Help people answer some questions. Be nice. If you're not nice, they'll just kick your ass out. It's that simple. Everybody's pretty nice, and everybody kind of knows what they're talking about, and we have a good time. Although you got to watch out for that Michelle lady. There's more salvia here, I know. I've seen it. More blue marvel. I'm even going to take these rough looking ones. Anyway, that girl, that young lady, sings. So she sings while she's planting her plants and writes songs and stuff like that. I've watched a couple of her videos. Pretty good channel. And I like, you know, there's enough of us out there shopping for plants. Don't necessarily need the same old thing. It's good to break it up a little bit. She's got a pretty voice. So I'm going to put a link in the description below so you guys can check her channel out, because when somebody posts something like that on the Facebook group, I try to look at everything that goes on there, you know, and read all the comments and stuff like that. And people are really, really liking her. So I want to support her too. You guys like her, I like her. But I was thinking, I think an opportunity for me to broaden my horizons as a YouTuber. So I wrote a song that I'd like to sing for you guys. This is going to be a cappella, so I mean, I hope you're okay with that. Okay, I am pretty sure I've got all the salvia. I say that, but everything I keep on going for is lantana, you know, so I think I've got all the salvia out of here. So, yeah, I'm excited. All perennial salvia. And, yeah. All right, here we are for the clearance roundup. I got 6 of the Blue Marvel salvia for $2, and I got 2 of these pink profusion salvia for $2. I also picked up a bale of peat, a 3 cubic foot bale of peat for $18, which I'm not a huge fan of buying peat because I really don't consider it a renewable resource. I mean, I guess it is a renewable resource, but it takes a long time to get there. I also picked up some Buchanan beer soap with Budweiser. I feel like this will kind of reminds me of, you know, when you went to the bonfire that one time and you were so drunk that you went to use the bathroom and couldn't find your way back, so you crawled underneath a cedar tree and just thought, I'll figure it out in the morning. This is warm cedar wood scent with Budweiser. It's got a smoky smell with a little bit of cedar wood and with a just kind of like some undertone sprinkling of Budweiser. That's what that smells like to me. All right, guys, thank you for joining me on Landscape Rescue. My name is Stuart Moore. Thank you for letting me into your home talk about plants.